Guys, what's poppin'? It's Adonis. We're going over Sonic the Hedgehog. I just saw it here in Australia. Here are my thoughts. Now, first and foremost, Sonic is a character that I grew up with, you know, playing from Genesis games all the way through the Dreamcast games. Obviously, he had his cartoon in the 90s. Really cool character. Definitely was a Sonic fan over a Mario fan when I was young. So awesome to see this character on the big screen, especially after that ridiculous character design it originally had, but we won't go there. So let's start where the new character design started, which was awesome. In the movie, it looks great. I didn't know if they were gonna have enough time to fix what needed to be fixed and still have it look quality, which it does. And I don't know, it was a surprise because I was like, I don't know if it's going to look complete by the time the movie drops, but man, was I wrong, and it looks amazing. And Sonic, as far as the character goes, the character of Sonic is exactly what I would imagine he would be in a live action context. Now, the story of Sonic, his origin and all that is, you know, brand new for this particular movie, and his, you know, transition into our world and what that would be like as the character of Sonic fits this so well. And you kind of get a little bit of that in the trailer, but it definitely makes more sense when you see his origin and kind of how he got to Earth and why he acts the way that he acts. And it's just really dope. I actually really like it a lot. And there are a ton of Easter eggs that even further support this Sonic being Sonic, which is so good because so many video game movies just never really get it right. And it's just really cool that this movie did. It actually seemed to care enough about the character to say, you know what, this is what Sonic would do if he had this backstory living in, you know, our world. Really dope. Now, I remember when I first saw the trailer, I was like, dang, I really wish it was Jaleel White voicing Sonic, because that's who I was used to as the original Sonic voice actor in the cartoons. I keep forgetting the actor's name. It'll probably be here, but he did a great job. I thought he was awesome as Sonic. I probably still would have preferred Jaleel White, but with all that being said, it was good. And the delivery of certain lines and the emotion at times and the comedic timing at times was actually surprising. And I was very whelmed. I was very satisfied. Now, obviously, opposite Sonic is Dr. Robotnik, and Jim Carrey absolutely crushes. He crushes this role. Now, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, how over the top is Jim Carrey going to be? Because we all know Jim Carrey can really just go over the top at times. Sometimes it's a little bit too much. But knowing who Dr. Robotnik is, knowing the level of intellect he is, knowing how psychotic this character is, Jim kills it. Like, I can't even explain a better way of explaining it. Like, he just kills the role. And I was surprised and delighted that it fit, because I was so worried he was going to overdo it, and it just fits. It fits, especially because Sonic is an alien hedgehog. So the ridiculousness of that living in our world, having the opposite of that of a real life Dr. Robotnik being as over the top and loony as he is, it actually fits really well. So it doesn't seem like Sonic doesn't fit as much. You know what I'm saying? Like, they actually play really well together. Now, the story quality was actually fairly good. I was surprised because I was a little worried about what were they going to do? Why was he on Earth? All of these things were kind of going through my head. Like, why would you need to come here if, like we saw in the trailer, he was in his world? So I was like, this is interesting. And we get these answers right from the rip, right from the start. And yeah, it makes sense. They had a really cool intro, cool little heartfelt moments for Sonic. Getting to know Sonic kind of right off the bat. Like, we kind of get his personality immediately, which carries through the rest of the movie. So I felt like how they set up Sonic was perfect, at least from my perspective. And as it progresses, it just seems like a good paced movie. It doesn't seem like there's really lulls or really slow moments. It seems like it keeps a consistent clip. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of fat in the movie. It's kind of cut down to a very concise piece of work. which I was happy for because I was like, man, I really don't want this to drag, and I really don't want it to take on a focus other than Sonic, because I feel like a lot of these movies, aka the Transformers, where the movie kind of focuses around the humans and not the character that we came to see, I'm so glad it doesn't do that. It focuses on Sonic the entire time. Everything else is kind of like subplots around Sonic, which is really cool. So I love the fact that he is the main focus and driving force of this movie. Now, one of the things that I was really curious on was how they were going to handle Sonic's speed. Now, we all know Sonic is ridiculously fast, and there's times in this movie you're like, whoa, right? How would Dr. Robotnik even fight that? You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some speed scaling things right off the top where you're like, okay, how do you fight that if you can't even see it? And they explain this really awesomely. There's a event that happens, and that event lingers through the movie, finally becomes a thing that allows, the villain to, combat with Sonic at a speed that you're like, aha, that is clever. So it was awesome that that's what took place, for it to make sense that you could fight something like Sonic at the speed that Sonic fights at. Really cool. Now, as far as the Easter eggs go, man, the Easter eggs were so cool in this movie. So many awesome ones from the games, from the TV series. It was a really cool moment to be in. There is a mid-credit scene that you might want to check out, so don't leave the theater. But yeah, man, overall, as a movie, this is a kids movie geared towards kids, right? So there's gonna be things that, aren't uberly great for adults as far as the story goes, right? There's gonna be storylines that kind of just really don't hold any weight in the movie. You think they will, but they really don't. There's some things just kind of, this kind of disappear. You're like, oh, all right, well, that's a thing, but it's not really a thing. You're like, all right, cool. So with that being said, there are some things in the movie that, as a story goes, that could have been better, for sure. Now, with that being said, Sonic might be the best video game to live action adaptation that I've seen. I haven't seen every video game to live action, but I've seen almost all of them, and it seems like it might be the best. Let me know your guys' favorite video game to live action adaptation in the comments below, and I'll let you know if I've seen it and if I think Sonic is actually better. And if you have seen Sonic, let me know if you agree with me. Does Sonic rank amongst the top? Is it the top, the tippity? So what would I rate Sonic the Hedgehog? So for me, I would probably rank this a 7.5 out of 10. It's a good movie. It's entertaining. It has a lot of heart. I really liked Sonic in this movie. Like, Sonic as the character was really awesome. I really enjoyed Sonic. He was more complex than I thought he was going to be. And I don't know, I feel like as a kid watching this movie, there's things about it that I would be like, man, like that feels like you would like a kid. Like, it's really, really cool. I think it's a really good movie. And then as far as, us young adults that grew up with this character, there's a lot in this movie, nostalgia for us to be like, oh, that was cool. Like, I remember that when I played this or I saw this cartoon. Really, really cool. So 7.5 out of 10 for me. I want to know your guys' score of this movie. If you have seen Sonic, let me know in the comments down below. And also let me know if you guys want me to do a non-spoiler review. Just leave me in the comments down below. We want a non-spoiler review. Other than that, guys, I will chat with you guys next time. Till then, stay geeked.